Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you for tuning into this video. Yesterday I went over to the Eastern Invert Show over in Brighton. I got a lift up there with the lovely Steve W Exotics, and we caught up with some familiar faces and met some people I haven't met yet before. It's always nice to meet some people from the hobby, especially when you get into this and you chat to a lot of people online, but it's always nice to put a face to a name. I didn't really intend on picking up that much, but I got a few gifts and I did make a few purchases as well. So I thought I'd do a quick video just to show you what I've got, and then there's a couple of things that I will show you the rehousings of in some later videos. I do apologise, that's a bearded dragon climbing all over the house. Yeah, so I will crack on with this and I'll show you all the bits and pieces that I got. It'll probably be a shortish video, and then I'll come back to do some of the longer rehousings at some other point. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this. Cheers. I apologise about the rubbish on this table, but I've had all sorts of bugs stored on this overnight since I got back. So first up, one of the things we have, as the label says, Fpus Regus. It should be a sexed female. I bought this one from Gavin Mitch over at Unseen Universe. Don't know if I can get you much of a better shot than that. At some point I will try to do some videos with this one, try and get some feeding. They are such a cute species of spider. If you've never gotten into jumping spiders, I'd highly recommend a jumping spider. They're just cute little friendly things, although I do know a couple of people that have had a little bite off them, so you always do have to be careful. Fpus Regus, they're one of the most common jumping spider species that you tend to get in the hobby. And annoyingly, as you can see here, they have this tendency just to build their little web hammocks right up. Oh, there you go. You can see a bit more colour on that one. I don't know if I can focus better. Yeah, it's probably as best as I can get. Yeah, they do have this habit of building their little hammocks right up the top. So every time you have to open it up, you end up ruining their little hammock, which is annoying. But at some point, if we can grow this one on, she'll be going into a nicer enclosure. And we'll get that all sorted for her, looking nice, and then potentially find a male. We shall see. Next up we have these. They are both the same. These are Acanthoscuria geniculata agens, giant white knee. I think they call them Brazilian white knee. There's all sorts of common names for them. They were £7 each, or 2 for £10. Just as a little bit of a voiceover in here, because I forgot to mention it, these were from Backmar Breedings, which I think is Graham Vaslin on Facebook. They are lovely awesome little spiders. It's a nice little sort of grown-on type sling, sort of getting all the adult coloration there now. They will probably be okay in these pots. I just need to maybe add a little water bowl and something for them to hide under, just in case they want to. Possibly pop a little bit more substrate in there as well, but as a general rule, these are pretty much spot on for them. If we can focus, there we are. There's another one. This is sort of decent size. These can be a bit more on the feisty side as they get older, and I think that's why a lot of people tend to kind of like them. And they do reach a fairly decent size as well. They're not a small tarantula, so they become a bit of a nice display species. I apologise for sounding nasally, but I am still getting over a bit of a cold. Next up, as this says here. Now I do have an adult female, so I'm going to attempt a little breeding project. Isn't he gorgeous? Such pretty colours on these guys. So yeah, red colour form, OBT, or terusmurinus. So he's going to need a rehouse into something a little bit bigger. We don't typically give mature males too much space, They sort of wander around a lot. Although, I mean, I think it's a bit of a misnomer. You can keep them in something smaller and they walk around it a lot, or you can put them in something a bit bigger and they still walk around it a lot. I think it's a bit of a fallacy that putting them in something smaller means that they last for longer, because they're not walking about as much. They just walk around as much in a smaller space, in my personal opinion. Everyone does things how it works for them, and that's how it should be. You know, always share a little bit of knowledge, share your thoughts. There's no harm in people doing things differently to anybody else. Everyone does things their own way. So that is the last of... Is it the... Yeah, that's the last of the spiders that I bought. This here also came from Mitch at Unseen Universe, and it is a female devil's flower mantis. I can't remember... Oh, she's very jumpy. I can't remember the scientific name for this at the moment. Something or other diabolica. I'll put it on the screen anyway. But you can see they are a very pretty mantis, and they get to a nice size, and they're incredibly pretty when they're adult. So she will be getting a bigger home. If you don't know anything about mantis, one of the things you do need to bear in mind is they need to hang upside down to molt, so they need plenty of room to be able to fall out of that molt. Well, fall, but slide out, however it is they come out of a molt. Yeah, so we'll be trying to get something of a decent size, maybe with a little bit of decoration just to make it look smarter. And I'll probably come back and show you that on a different video. But yeah, that's the Idola mantis diabolica. Doing my best to remember. I love mantis, just the way they move, everything they do. Those little arms, that little head. It's adorable. Love it. Anyway, let's pop her back. So, yeah, so one of the other things I'm getting into at the moment is roaches. So I got these, another roach species. I'm gradually trying to get more and more into roaches. I don't know why they've started to interest me quite so much, but they're quite fascinating. And anything that you get spare, you can use as feeders. These came from Leah at Unusual Pets there. Giant death head cockroach, Blabberus giganteus, however you want to pronounce that. That's what they are. But yeah, giant death head cockroaches. These guys come in and they go alongside. I've got a tiny colony of domino roaches, which I got from Jeremy at Jeremy's Wild World. I have some lobster roaches, which came from Leah at Unusual Pets. I've also got some Madagascan hissing cockroaches, which I got from the lovely Steve W. Exotics. Now, I've put them in here. It's a bit of a temporary home, really. But there you go. That's what these guys look like. And to give you a bit of a size comparison, that's next to my thumb. So they're a nice big species. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 males. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And about 5 females. There might be some more buried in there. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, these guys they're pretty cool. I find roaches pretty easy to keep, generally. If you get the temperatures right, the right level of humidity for the species that you're keeping, you can basically, I mean, I give them all sorts of offcuts of veggies. There's a little bit of grated carrot in there, the inner workings of a bell pepper. You can give them fish food, algae flakes, anything along those lines. They will often eat something like a kitten food or a dried dog food for a bit of protein. Some people also give them chick crumb, or layers pellets even, I think you can give them. You have to make sure that it's not medicated if you're going to go down that route. The medication is for something called coccidiosis, something along those lines, but it's not great for roaches. So just be careful if you are feeding a poultry related food that it is not medicated. But typically any kind of dog feeds, fish food, anything like that is great. They love a bit of white wood, they love a bit of leaf litter, they'll munch on the leaf litter. Yeah, so this setup should keep them going for a little while. Hopefully they'll start to breed. Once I start getting a few more babies in there, we'll move them into something a bit bigger. And I think I forgot to mention with the male OBT, I got him as a gift from Steve Short, who is Steve Spiders, which I think is SS3D Designs, on Facebook. I will double check that and I'll put everybody's links down in the description. And this was another gift from Steve in a very well sealed box that I can't open. Right, let's make sure these don't run out anywhere. So these are, I will have to look up the scientific name again for these guys, but these are white spot assassin bugs. And I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There may be some more in there hiding around. I'll be putting them into something a little bit bigger. I've had the King Horrida. What's the? Ooh, I'm going to have to find all these names and put them on the screen. I've had the King Horrida, or Horrid King assassin bugs before, but my care on them wasn't quite right. I was keeping them a bit too dry, and as a result, if they were laying any eggs, the eggs didn't hatch. So I will be trying again. We have these, as I say, these are the white spots. Last but not least, we have a gift from the very lovely Matt, Mr. Tarantula Rookie himself. These are the Horrid King assassin bugs, along with a fly that I tried to feed them that they've not been very interested in. I think, again, there's probably about 7 or 8 of these in here. These guys are absolutely lovely, especially when they mature out. Were you going to hunt a fly? That would be really cool on camera. Let's wait and see. Or are you just going to spin around? Nope, you're not interested in that fly either. But yeah, these guys are really cool. I love them. I will be, probably the first rehouse video I do will be for these guys. I did have them something set up already, and I set it up probably a week or 10 days ago. And I came to look at it yesterday when I got back and realised that I had a mould outbreak already. So I've dumped all the substrate and I'm getting everything cleaned at the moment. And I will be coming back to redo that, and we'll show you all of that on camera. But yeah, how many of these do we have? So we have 1, 2, 3 out here. Oh, there's quite a few in there actually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. So I think 9 or 10 of those. An amazing gift from Matt. I'm so happy with these, along with the white spots from Steve. Incredibly generous. And again, one of the things I really love about this hobby, you know, you meet some genuinely lovely people out there. There's a lot to be said for it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little snippet. Just a quick look into some of the things I've got coming up. The OBT breeding plan is quite exciting. I'm really excited. Well, I'm excited about it. I know lots of people hate OBTs and probably wouldn't be, but it's going to be interesting. Yeah, again, massive thank you to Tarantula Rookie, Matt, and Steve Short, Steve Spiders, for those gifts. That's really amazing, and you know, It's so nice, genuinely. Thank you. Yeah, the roaches from Leah over at Unusual Pets, I mean, they look, you might not be into roaches, but I think they're really cool. Jumping spiders again. I've tried jumping spiders in the past and I don't actually have that much luck with them, and I don't know why. So we're really going to properly knuckle down at properly researching exactly how everybody keeps these, because they're very common. It shouldn't be impossible. I keep a ton of spiders without ever having a problem, so we'll have to work out quite what's going on with this. And yeah, a couple of agens to add to my collection. I do have one already, but it's tiny. In fact, yeah, no, I do have one, plus a Nandu, I think. Nandu chromatus. I got that wrong on the last one. I got an, yeah. I'll have to look into this and go back on it, because something that I got was mislabeled, I think, at some point in time. So I'll have to have a proper check. Yeah. Anyway, that's all for this video. Like I say, coming up next will be the assassin bug rehousing video, and I will do like a little enclosure build with that. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing and how that's happening. I'll be following Matt, Tarantula Rookie's advice for the larger ones anyway, because they'll be going into something a bit bigger straight away. The smaller white spots, I will keep them in something smaller for now until a few more have molted out and they need a bit more space, and then I'll get them into something a bit bigger. And I think the setup requirements are pretty much the same for both, so we'll be following that. Yeah, that's on the next video. So yeah, thank you all for joining. I am, as ever, trying to get more content out there, but it's not always easy, but I try. So yeah, thank you for joining, and I will see you all again soon. Bye bye.